Imagine for a second you are ultra rich. Imagine you individually, personally, have billions upon billions at your disposal. And let's say that you inherited all this money from your father, who inherited it from his father. Okay, now let's say, because you have all this wealth, you don't have to worry about trying to survive, about having a job. Let's say you spend all your time thinking about how to control other people and get them to keep giving you their money. Let's say you've been studying this since you were a child because you have been taught it by your father, who was taught it by his father and his father before him, spanning back hundreds upon hundreds of years. And you know your history, and you know your genealogy, and your family has been controlling people and been studying how to control people for hundreds and hundreds of years. Now let's say that you look at human beings as cattle, and you, in your eyes, every human being is a mere mindless monster, a ward of the state that needs to be coddled and nursed by you in order so they can grow up and be healthy, just as a farmer wants his cattle to be relatively healthy, as he readies them for the slaughter. Now, imagine for a second that you are a slave, and every nation is actually a plantation. And imagine that the plantation owners draw imaginary lines around their plantations. And imagine that when these plantation owners get mad at each other, they make their slaves fight. Just like people with their domesticated dogs making their dogs fight. Just imagine. Imagine if those slaves realized that there are really only two classes in the world. There's the slave class and the slaver class. And if you don't own any slaves, then you're not free. You're a slave too. And every city is a giant prison with no walls. They keep you there by addicting you to it because you have been domesticated and you do not know how to live in the wild. Just like animals that have been domesticated, when they set free, they keep returning to the place that domesticated them because they like the free food. And because it's hard for them to get food on their own in the wild. Just like every person that was not born and raised in the wild, which is almost all of humanity. Every domesticated animal has its wild counterpart. The one that's been domesticated the longest and looks the most diverse is the dog. Dogs come from wolves. That's why they can interbreed. And if we don't run away from the master and join wild wolf packs, then we will always be the master's bitch.